So we got this story that's going to gain legs, I think, in the offseason in the NFL. It's the second consecutive year in the NFL playoffs that a game went to overtime and the team that won the coin flip proceeded to take the football, go right down the field, and score and end the game. And it was proposed, I think it was the Kansas City group after it happened to them last year, because New England in the AFC Championship game was playing Kansas City. Game went to overtime. Kansas City, New England won the toss. Road team, they got to call it, and they won the toss. They got the football, and they went right down the field and scored on was a Rex Burkhead touchdown run, I believe it was, that sent New England to the Super Bowl, and Kansas City never got a shot in overtime. Then, this year, New Orleans at home, Minnesota, the road team, got to call the coin flip, won the coin flip, took the football. Kirk Cousins with the big pass to Adam Thielen, set up the touchdown pass to Kyle Rudolph. Minnesota right down the field and scored. New Orleans never got the football. So last year, after the Kansas City game, the Kansas City group at the NFL owners' meetings or the rules convention or whatever proposed that in overtime, in the playoffs, a team gets a chance at a rebuttal. And Pro Football Talk endorsed this rule change to allow for a rebuttal as well. That when you get to the postseason, a team should be allowed a chance to answer. And I can't make a logical argument why a team shouldn't be allowed a chance to answer. In the regular season, they have done some things to, they've shortened overtime. First, they shortened overtime. That's the first thing they did. But they have then, they made it so the coin flip doesn't determine the outcome. They don't want teams playing forever, especially in the regular season. But it's almost to me like in hockey, when you get to the postseason, hockey's overtime rules in the regular season and the postseason are dramatically different. And in the postseason, they just say, look, you play till you get a winner, period. We're not going to have a game determined in the Stanley Cup playoffs by a shootout. And I don't think anyone anywhere would endorse the idea. I think the idea of the sudden death overtime hockey game that gets into the first overtime, second overtime, and even occasionally the third overtime, people are fascinated by it. And yeah, it gets late and sometimes you don't see it and all that. But it is great high drama theater. You can't do sudden death in football without there being some chance for a huge unfair, potentially disparity. And I can't think of an argument against allowing a rebuttal. And I don't know even if there's an argument of doing it inning style. You get the ball, we get the ball.
Well, I'll give it my best shot.
Okay.
Because I don't mind how it is.
Don't you?
I understand. No, I don't, because the way that it happened, I think there's a fairness in it with the coin toss and all that. And really what overtime is an extension of the game. Game ends the way the game ends. The team that's got the ball at the end of regulation, they've got the opportunity to do whatever they want to do. If they want to kick for a field goal and force the extra period, they know what they're getting themselves into. If they want to go for it and try to get the touchdown to win it or whatever the case is at the end of regulation, whatever situation they're in, they know possibility exists that they may not get the ball in the extended period. And that's really what it is. It's just extended period. It's not sudden death. They've changed it a little bit, so it's not sudden death anymore.
Well, it can be.
Well, it's not sudden death until right. But if you score a touchdown, it is. If you kick a field goal, it's not. I mean, they've allowed for a little bit of a different interpretation. I don't mind it how it is.
Don't you?
I'm open to it if they want to discuss doing a full on, not a full on period of football or extra quarter, but if you want to give the other team an opportunity to answer if there's a touchdown. But
here's something I would be in favor of, where you don't change, it's still sudden death. There is, I guess I struggle with the coin flip. The coin flip becomes so incredibly important, right?
Yep.
That I don't think anything with that kind of importance and seasons ending and Super Bowl chances, on the line should come down to a coin flip. I would feel better about it if they simply said, one of the benefits, the advantages that you earn during the regular season by being the higher seed is if you go to overtime, you get the football first. It feels like, okay, that adds to the incentive, just something you've earned. You've earned the right to have the football first. Now, you've also earned the right to have home field, but I struggle with the whole concept of the coin flip. It just is too important for something like that to be determined by a coin flip, even though you say, I know the argument's going to say, well, you got to stop them if you can't stop them. Yeah, but they might not be able to stop you, but you never got a chance.
So would you have no problem with the overtime rules the way that they are? Leave them the same, except for just no coin toss. The home team gets the ball first.
I mean, I would have it better. Yeah, probably. And the home team would always be the higher seed.
Yeah.
So, yes. And I'm in favor of almost every rule that increases the importance of the regular season.
Okay.
Okay. And if you think about sports and the sports that I've always talked about that I love, I don't think there's a better regular season in sports than college football. And it has a teeny tiny little playoff. But the regular season's the best. And I think it's totally worth it. I think we do have a playoff. We haven't really, what the evidence that we've gotten through 6 years of the playoff is that we're struggling to find 4 equal teams to even play in it, and people want to expand it.
I've kind of thought this way for the last couple of years, and it kind of piggybacks off of what you said, and that is with the coin toss, we can do away with the coin toss. Do away with the coin toss to start the game, and if you go to overtime, do away with there too. It should be that is home field advantage. Your home field advantage in the regular season, you're the home team. Decide what you want. You want the ball first, or do you want to defer to the second half? You don't need to flip a coin to decide that. That seems arbitrary.
Too much riding on a coin toss for a playoff game to me. Now, if they decided that they didn't want to do that and just go either A, innings style, which is each team gets the ball an equal number of times, or B, the other team gets a chance to rebut a touchdown. If they go down and score a touchdown, you at least get the ball.
Would you rather see the college football way where they start from the 25-yard line, or do you want to go full on, hey, we're kicking off, you return the ball, and you have your opportunity on a full possession?
It's a great question.
Thank you.
I mean, because essentially college football overtime turns into a red zone battle.
Yeah.
Which I prefer that to ties, and I prefer it to
the NFL model?
I actually do, even though I don't love it for the NFL. Like, I think it works in college. I'm not sure it makes sense in the NFL because there's too much on the line. I think they should continue playing regular football. I mean, hell, maybe even just make it. How about this for an idea? It's a 5-minute overtime. And no matter what, we're going to play 5 minutes or 8 minutes or 10 minutes. And at the end of that time, if we don't have a winner, we go another one. It's overtime, but it's not sudden death. And then you still get the excitement.
So it's like soccer?
Yeah, I guess soccer has overtimes, but it's not sudden death. But I know people probably hate that because it's an idea taken from soccer. But then you get the excitement of another 2-minute warning, trying to beat the clock, which is one of the best parts of football.
Here's why I don't love the college overtime method for the NFL. I think a big part of the NFL, which I kind of think makes it awesome, is that even though they're trying to shrink it, special teams are a huge part of it.
Yep.
And I think your return units should be rewarded. If you have a good return unit, that's an advantage that you have. So if they're going to kick off to you, you should be able to utilize that. And instead of starting at the 25-yard line just seems, it's just a red zone battle. Like you say, it's not the same thing. And I think field position is such a very, very important part of football that the NFL overtime rules still kind of not accentuate it, but still appreciate it.
All right, people want to get in on this. Last year, Kansas City lost a coin toss in the AFC title game. New England went right down the field, scored a touchdown. Kansas City tried to get a rule change. They said they'd table it till this year. Well, it happened again. New Orleans lost the coin toss, lost the game when Minnesota went right down the field and scored a touchdown. There is discussion of changing the overtime rule in the playoffs. 248-539-9797. Karsch and Anderson, 97.1.